Shrek the Third is one of the weakest sequels in the entire Shrek franchise. Here's why. Just a quick fun fact first. This movie came out the same month with movies that had a third sequel in May of 2007. Shrek the Third, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, and Spider-Man 3. My favorite Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie. Yeah, that's right, viewers. Come at me with it in the comments. Come on, I dare ya. I would like to talk about the characters and the humor, all in the same thing, instead of separately like I did in the last video. The link for that video is in the description. I want to get through everything all at once to end everybody's misery of talking about Shrek the Third. Let's talk about Shrek. Shrek in this movie has had one of the worst showings for a main character. There are times when he's trying to be funny and the jokes will completely miss. Throughout the movie, he's trying to get in the feels of becoming a future parent. The only good parts of the movie is him showing how much he really cares about Arthur. He gives him advice on life, and he talked it down on him as if he lied to him about becoming the next king to save him from Charming executing him. Throughout this movie, Shrek has been acting very insecure on most of the things he says, including the jokes. That's all because he's about to become a father. Daw. I'm sorry, that moment in the movie just lives in my head to this day, rent-free. Gosh, that was a very disturbing scene. He doesn't think he's meant to be a king, and he's nervous about becoming a father because he's an ogre. My man needs to stop second-guessing himself. Next is Donkey. Of course, he brings the real humor to this movie. He had jokes that were actually funny, though he had better jokes and more jokes in the second movie compared to this one. His humor in the second movie was peak Donkey. It was peak. As Homelander would say, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything. Down to the last minute details. It's a shame that who he is as a character gets ruined in the second half of this movie, which I will explain shortly. He got Puss in Boots. He is still an icon to me. He's confident about what he does and who he is. What happened to both him and Donkey as characters has been ruined in the second half of the movie. That is because their bodies were switched. A little Freaky Friday situation. That was a plot point that didn't need to happen. Things were going so well for them in this movie, and then that happened. That was all fixed only for them to switch tails, which I thought was dumb. Fiona was sidelined throughout the entire movie. Then you had her princess friend group. They had her baby shower. They were exchanging gifts. Each princess was like saying, yeah, my gift is better than the other, which is always the most toxic thing about baby showers and about exchanging gifts. It just makes it toxic in general. And also, they're the type of people who would be in a sorority. Also, I noticed that Rapunzel kind of looks like Cersei Lannister. Wait. Her and Prince Charming have a thing. It's Jaime and Cersei Lannister before Game of Thrones. You got Prince Charming in this movie. It was understandable for DreamWorks to expand his character after the last movie. As a main villain, it did not work out. He had a plan, but he had multiple plans on top of it. You just didn't know what the real plan was, except him trying to put on this huge theatrical performance to kill Shrek. And then he had more plans on top of it as well. His intentions were just not clear. Plus, How did he miss killing Shrek? How did he miss? How do you miss? Come on, this villain is pathetic. Lastly, you have Merlin, voiced by some guy in the Monty Python crew. He does magic and eats rocks every meal of the day, which makes his teeth bleed. Ew. He's supposed to be a comic relief character, but he doesn't contribute at all to the plot. The only thing we know about him is that he used to teach at Arthur's high school. He did until he had an, quote, episode that wasn't explained. Please don't tell me he's one of those teachers that got in trouble for an incident outside of school. I've had at least 3 of those in my life. Now that I'm done talking about the characters and the humor and the storytelling that goes along with it, I am going to tell you guys the life lesson that this movie has taught us. At least it did have one. The way I look at it. So the life lesson is being a good example for those around you. Treat them with respect the same way you would like to be respected. Yeah. There's that. Oh wait, I forgot to summarize someone else. Holy sh! You got Arthur, Fiona's cousin, voiced by Justin Timberlake, who was also mentioned as a pop culture reference in the last movie. He's the kid that gets bullied in high school, whom eventually becomes king. We all predicted that. Let's admit it. The movie was predictable. Now, I'm going to share with all of you my overall thoughts. There was no effort put into this movie. The humor was being forced. This was a movie that only kids liked, but not the adults, which was the key element as to why everybody enjoyed the first 2 movies. Both the kids and the adults liked it. The adults with this movie did not like it so much. The movie was made for the sake of money. It made $100 million less than the last movie. Back to when I mentioned the movies with third sequels coming out the same month, Shrek the Third performed with the least amount of money in the box office compared to the other movies. Unfortunately, that is the case of movies today. Nothing is original in Hollywood. This movie is the epitome of that. But that is just my personal opinion. If you like this movie, that's totally fine. I'm not going to hate you for it. But please share with me your opinion down in the comments below. I thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time in the next video. Have a nice day, everybody.